Hi everyone, my name is Vanessa Rios and welcome to my site PE with Miss V. My students do call me Miss V, not Miss Rios, so that's why I chose that slogan. Here is my homepage, but when you scroll down, the first thing you will see is a little bit more about me. So just a quick recap, I did just graduate this May from Cal State Fullerton with a degree in kinesiology and a concentration in teacher education. And I am finishing up my first semester of student teaching in the credential program, which has been very stressful but also very rewarding. So I'm looking forward to just finishing the program and hopefully landing a teaching position. So again, if you scroll further down, here's a video a little bit more about my teaching philosophy. You can go ahead and just click it straight from here. But for the sake of getting to my whole website, I will just let you do that on your own time. More about this space, I basically just wanted this website to be a place where my students and their parents have access to any of the lectures, any of the materials, or any assignments for the unit. And the topic that I did decide to do was 8th grade square dancing. So I chose to pick square dancing because I personally have never taught this in a unit, so I found that this would probably be a good way to familiarize myself with the topic and kind of introduce myself and figure out how I would teach this in my class. I also did include a video down here below just for an example for students to see how they will be or what they would be doing in class. And lastly, I just have my contact information. So moving on to what is PE. A lot of people do confuse physical education with physical activity. So physical activity is just any type of movement of the body. So walking around the neighborhood or playing a game of volleyball with your friends, that's physical activity. But physical education is an educational program that is taught by individuals who are qualified. And, their job is to give students the knowledge, the skills, and confidence to engage in physical activities for their lifetime. Scrolling down, I have more about why PE is important, so you could go ahead and read that. And then I also have some videos just about, again, the importance of PE and, how it could benefit us in our brains. So next we move on to useful links. And here I did include like parks and trail locators and youth sports, but I chose Diamond Bar because that is the location of my school that I'm teaching at. Again, here I have some like health videos, so how to make healthy habits. I have this app here that has pre-made workouts, so students don't have to come up with their own. It's just easy to follow. And then continuing along with health, I have My Plate, so students can learn about more of the 5 food groups. Then I have some mindful videos, so who doesn't need some meditation? Then yoga stretches, because sometimes students come into class saying they're sore and they don't want to participate, so I feel like this would help them out. Lastly, I have the school website and class dojo, which I do use. It just helps me keep track of students' points and participations. So next we move on to digital interactives, again with the 5 food groups. Although my students are in middle school, I don't think that they really know a lot about the 5 food groups and how to make a healthy meal and how to make smart choices. So this is just a little fun game. You could click here on the title and it takes you. Then again, Poke Muscle. Whenever we do activities like our warm-ups, I always try to get students to talk about the muscles that they're using or activating. So I'll be like, hey, this is a quad stretch, or hey, this is a hamstring stretch. And when we do like actual activities, I like to ask students, again, what muscles are being used. I have a link to some Quizlet flashcards just because with square dancing in particular, there's a lot of little things that they need to know. So I feel like Quizlet is a good example or a good tool. And then Brain Pop. Brain Pop is something I used growing up and I enjoyed it, so I figured my students would enjoy it too. Moving on to assistive technology, we have visual aids, which is very important and something I use in my class. At my school in particular, we have a lot of students who are from China and they speak Mandarin. They're English language learners, so visual aids are a big help. Then we have some beeper balls for students who are visually impaired. So as you can see here, the ball just has some dots or holes, I would say, and it makes a noise, it beeps, and that helps students with visual impairments locate the ball. Very great tool, and I've seen it in action. It's very cool. Now moving on to internet use. Again, we always want to emphasize safety when using the internet for these kids, especially because, technology is so popular nowadays and social media. So emphasizing how to be safe on the internet. Then there's some 3 websites right here that I recommend for students to look and use. And then a quick little 5-minute video, or not even 5 minutes, I think it's less, but it's a great video. Now onto graphic organizers. So I did choose a Venn diagram because in previous years, the students have done line dancing, or according to the state standards, they should have done line dancing. So I didn't want students to get confused with line dancing versus square dancing, and I thought a Venn diagram would be the perfect way to distinguish the two. Here I have some websites about information that they could use to make their Venn diagrams, and then here is just an example of the Venn diagram that I created. Further down we have the rubric, so it's just kind of straight to the point. I'm grading on the line dancing content, square dancing content, similarity content, organization, and their readability. Of course, I have how it connects to our unit. So moving on, we have assessments. Here I chose a formative quiz, and I use a website called Quizzes. I think that is how you pronounce it. And I think that this is a great way to get students, or to assess their knowledge halfway through the unit, because it gives me a better idea of what I need to spend more time on. So if you scroll down, you can see the types of question I have. So I have multiple choice questions, open-ended questions, fill in the blanks, and it's just kind of asking things like explain who your corner is if you're the left standing partner in couple 3, because this is all things that they need to know for when they're dancing. Their summative assessment is a performance. So eventually students will create their own square dancing routine and then perform it or make a video. So again, if you scroll down, here's the rubric, and this is just kind of what I'm looking for. So you could take a look at that. Now moving on to the choice board. I did decide on a tic-tac-toe choice board, and let's open this up. All right, so now that it's opened, the choice board, I have them all start here at number 5 because this is the assignment that I want them all to do. They don't have to do this one first, but they all have to do it. So that's why I have them starting there. And that's basically the summative assignment or assessment that we just went over in the last one about creating their own routine, square dancing routine, and performance, and videotaping that. Then they have some other choices here about like dynamic stretches routine or strength exercises, because this is things that we do during our warm-up and I still want to incorporate that. They have this option number 4, increase your cardiovascular endurance by running a lap and timing yourself. Again, although our unit is square dancing, we still have to do our runs, our cougar runs, which is basically just like a mile run. So yeah, I wanted everything to kind of stay within how we would usually run our class. They also have a chance to create a 5 to 7 minute video explaining the different square dancing calls, which again, this is very important because they need to know those square dancing calls when they're performing it and then when they're creating their own dance. So they could get a total of 15 points for this assignment, 5 points for each that they choose. They have to tic-tac-toe, so it would be 3 choices. All right, great. Now we can move on to the lecture and guided notes. So here is the lecture. Again, it's just kind of basics, history of square dancing, characteristics, characteristics and the calls. We go more in depth with the calls and what each call means. And I made these specific calls in correspondence with the dance that we're going to be doing in class, which is called Rolling in My Sweet Baby's Arms. Then here I have a guided notes. So if you open that up, it just goes over everything that we went through on that lecture. So the main types of square dancing, the couples and the positions, how to label them, some short responses of them explaining the calls, and then matching. So this is just kind of fun, matching the line to the instruments that are usually used in square dancing. And that is all. So thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed. Thank you.